A really warm welcome if you are joining us for the very first time here at PodX Studio. Great to have you with us. For anyone new here, our mission is pretty simple. Our deep dive today is into the fascinating world of identification of verbs in English grammar. Get ready to unlock the secrets of everyday language. So let's start with the how to identify a verb in the sentences. The first way to identify the verbs in the sentences is look into that words where you can change the tense of that word. Change into the tense means like in future, present, and past. If you're able to change the tense of any word, that is the first way to identify the verb. Let's see here. A key characteristic of a verb is that it changes according to the tense. For example, he goes to the school. Here, looking into the word goes, you can change the tense of this word like go went, gone, or go went, will go in the future, like that. So here, it's a verb here. He goes to school. It's a present tense. He went to school. Past tense. He will go to school. Future tense. Now then let's move to the second way to find out the verb in the sentences. The verb will tell you about the actions, state, and possession. For example, action means the verb shows an action being performed. For example, he goes to school on time. Here the action is goes. Because he's going to the school. That's why he goes to the school on time means the action, he's performing some action. The second example, he reached the school on time. Here again, reached is telling about the actions that he is doing now. Let's move further. Let's talk about the state. The verb describes a state of being. It means he will not tell you about the actions. Okay. Example number 1, he is ill. Here, he is ill. He is not doing any actions here. It is just telling you about the state of about him. So that's why here is a verb. Example number 2, I like English. The like is just showing about the state. I like English. Let's move with the third example. I know him. Here know is a verb here again. Let's move further. The possessions means ownership or the control over it. You will be the owner. For example, I have a book. The have is not telling about the state, not actions. So here it is telling about the ownership. I have a book. Okay, understand it? Okay, so let me tell you about the basic things of the object. So the object can be an object of verb or the object can be an object of preposition. Object of a verb means the object comes after a verb. That's called the object of a verb. An object of preposition means the object comes after the preposition. That is called the object of preposition. It's pretty simple, right? There is another definition. You can refer this as well. An object of a verb is the noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. That, as I told you, that the object comes after the verb. That's called the object of a verb. That object comes after the preposition. That is the object of preposition. And that object, the object is categorized into two parts, like direct object and the indirect object. What is direct object? The direct object will come after the verb. You have to ask yourself the question is what or whom. If you get the answer, that is called the direct object. And indirect objects is that object after the verb. When you will ask yourself to whom or for whom, then you will get an answer. That is called the indirect object. Example number 1 of direct object. I threw the ball. If you will ask yourself, I threw what? You will get an answer, the ball. That's why the ball is an direct object. Let's move to example number 2. She saw him. If you will ask yourself the question, she saw whom? Then you will get an answer, him. That's why him here is a direct object. Let's move to the indirect object example. Example number 1. He gave her a gift. If you will ask yourself, he gave the gift to whom? Then you will get an answer, that her. That's he. That's why here her is an indirect object. And remember one thing, it will come after the verb. Give is a verb here. That's why after the verb you have to identify. Example number 2. Please pass me the salt. If you ask yourself like to whom? Please pass me the salt to whom? You will get an answer, me. That's why here me is an indirect object. Okay, let's move further. The object of preposition, as I told you before the example, an object of a preposition is the noun or the pronoun that follows the preposition. If the object is coming after the preposition, that is called the object of preposition. For example number 1. I walked to the store. Here to is a preposition, and the store is coming after the preposition. That's why it's called the object of preposition. Example number 2. She is speaking with her friend. Here, her friend is an object and coming after the preposition, and the preposition is with. That's why her friend is an object of preposition. That is all for today's episode. A huge thank you for tuning into the PodX studio for this deep dive into verb identification. We really hope this journey into the foundation of English grammar as fascinating as we did. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you have not done. You make sure you ring the notification bell icon. That's way you will not miss our next episode of English grammar. Stay curious. Until next time, everyone.